You, sir, on the Health Watch. Have you ever heard somebody talking to themselves, out loud? Maybe you thought they were a little crazy. Turns out they might be smarter than you think. Talking out loud can actually be a sign of high cognitive function. In one study, those who spoke commands out loud to themselves performed challenging tasks better than those who silently read those instructions. And joining us today, Dr. Romie Mushtaq, a neurologist. Always good to see you.
Always great to see you.
So you might be smarter, but let's be clear. People are going to give you a wide berth, aren't they? I mean, if you're in a corner talking to yourself, you're not going to get a lot of people coming up and go, what are you talking about?
Does this happen to you often?
I don't know. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Shut up. Here we go.
I was stuck in traffic talking out loud driving up here to the Good Day Orlando
Were you really?
studios. Yes. So
you were talking out loud?
Talking out loud to myself.
Yourself?
And it turns out...
And what did yourself say?
The brain doctor is not crazy.
Okay.
There's Swiss researchers that show that this is a behavior we learn from the time that we're toddlers and learning language. So think about when we were walking towards a stove and our parents had already said, it's hot, don't touch. We learned to say, hot, don't touch. Well, it turns out that that languaging system in our brain stays with us. And if we want to perform tasks, especially that ones that are like we're using our hands, typing out loud, driving, that our brains are actually trained to talk out loud.
You mentioned driving, and I was going to ask you this. Does this count as the same thing when you're driving? You go, what is this guy doing? Is that talking to yourself, or is that just being aggressive driving?
I don't think you need to be a mental health expert to know that's a little bit of road rage.
That's a little bit of something else there.
Something just starting to come out.
All right. And I know that's not smart, so we should not be doing that. What kind of situations are there? I think you might have mentioned it, where you can get yourself in a dangerous situation. You're walking down the road and you're like, oh, ooh, maybe I shouldn't go there. Well, is that talking to yourself?
What I always tell my patients is if the voices are talking back to you and they're not really
if
there,
they're answering,
that's a sign of a psychiatric illness, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that.
Yes, you would know that. But the other part is where my patients, most of them get into danger, are my high-functioning clients, my C-suite level executives, athletes, is when the voices are so loud that they can't focus. And this can lead to a form of anxiety known as ruminating anxiety. And that's actually what happens in the brain, is when the thoughts are so loud and you're talking and that they become negative. We've all got that negative voice of fear. I call her crazy girl in my brain. Do you have a name for the voices in your head that are negative?
I sure don't.
Mine is crazy girl.
You just keep talking.
Don't worry, she's not going to come out and erupt on you.
Okay, well, that's good to know, Sybil. Anyhow.
And so what you need to do is recognize that it's a negative voice, and you tell them, exit stage left.
I gotcha.
This is exactly what I tell my anxiety patients is, number one, being mindfulness. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy recognizes, oh, this is a negative voice that's coming up. The voice of fear. I'm going to, fail at this task. I'm not going to succeed. And the people that are successful and high-functioning know how to recognize that voice and turn it off and tell them to exit stage left.
Talk to yourself, but don't converse with yourself.
Yeah, or don't let those negative thoughts take over. That's the key.
I hear you. How can people get in touch with you if they want more?
Want to learn more? It's drromie.com.
Always good to see you.
Always great to see you, Bob. Thank you.
And you too, crazy whatever thing that was going on back there. Amy Colville.
You guys.